Welcome back. All right, so yes, still on the hockey set, rocking my Billie Eilish shirt and all that fun stuff. I want to talk about something that I've wanted to talk about on here for a while. Getting older and just things people don't tell you about getting older. So I figure, I might as well talk about this because there's things that I'm like, why is this happening to me? Why? So I want to start off by talking about toenails. Why toenails? Because for some reason, as you get older, they get increasingly thick and sharp, and you start stabbing yourself with your own toenails, and then you can't use regular toenail clippers, and it may seem like that's not a big deal. It's ridiculous. It's insane. And then some of them seem to grow faster than others. I don't understand why. It's like your body says, I'm going to put all of your strength in your toes because I like to screw with you. So that's how I view it, is that, the toenails now being the strongest part of my body, just nature's way of mocking me and pointing a finger at me. Body hair becomes an absolute nightmare. Bald patches in certain parts of the body, hair growing way thicker in other parts. Again, it's very random. It's one of those things where you just have a nice shower and you go, I don't remember having a bunch of hair on the top of my feet. That's weird. Oh, foot, because that one doesn't have any, but this one does. Because again, it's not about making sense; it's about making fun, and Mother Nature just making fun of you. So that's the whole body, and these things are related. The toenails, the body hair, are definitely related. Two reasons this video now will exist. The old man walk. So I do 5 miles a day on the treadmill. Now I didn't today. Yesterday I was in some pain at the end of it. So if I'm in some pain at the end of the jogging, I know better than to do it again the next day because I need that rest day. And then I push myself a little bit harder on the Thursday and the Friday. Friday, there's no hockey that day, so I can go a little bit longer on Friday. The other thing, too, is you have to jog a heck of a lot more in order to do the same amount of work that you would have done at 20. So at 20, I would have gone, well, I jogged a mile. That's pretty good. I can have a big old bag of nacho chips, and I would have been fine. I wouldn't have gained a pound. Now it's like, all right, so I'm going to jog 5 miles. After I'm done, I'm going to walk like an old man because that's all your body does. And then I might have a peanut and I'll gain a pound and a half because that's how my body works now. So it's this because metabolism kind of goes by and it doesn't come back. So it's part of the reason I jog too is, it's good for your heart. It's good for keeping in shape. I like to keep myself in shape. I'm well aware of what the camera makes it look like, and it's just horrific. It's part of the reason why when I was starting out with the channel, I didn't get into like a tremendous amount of editing and getting into the weeds of it like a lot of other YouTubers do. Because I'm like, hey, I spend enough time looking at my face. I don't want to spend a bunch of extra time looking at my face. There's enough time of that as it enough time with that as it is. And the whole you'll lose track of what is or isn't cool. It's funny because I always thought that's probably not going to happen to me because I still listen to music and I still watch movies and TV, and I do, and yet I don't know how many times I've watched an award show lately where I'm like, who's that? And what? And huh? So like part of this I blame on the fact that music is decentralized. There's no one like it used to be. You'd watch Much Music, you'd watch MTV. There were a couple of different video shows, and that told you these are the songs. And now that's not really a thing. You have Spotify, you have YouTube, and you can kind of just stick to the music you like. So, for instance, the new one from Smashing Pumpkins, I Beguiled, absolutely love that song. That song is fantastic. I listen to it a lot. New stuff from Billie Eilish. I like her new album. I didn't like as much as the other one. I didn't actually buy the new album, but Oxytocin's one of my favorite songs ever. That song's fantastic. It's great for the workout. But yeah, I in terms of what's in and what's I had no idea. And I hear music and I'm like, oh, that's kind of an interesting song. And it was released 5 years ago. It happens. And I also think part of it is, and I've talked with Yvonne about this a lot. There is so much to consume now. There's so many different streaming services. There's so many different ways to distribute media that for TV and movies, it's much easier to lose track for the same reason as I said with music. It's not all in one place anymore. You don't even have to go to the theater now. I mean, you can, but in my instance, my question is usually why? That being said, on Friday, I would like to go and see a movie. I hear the new Dungeons and Dragons is fantastic, and it looks like it's up my alley. Chris Pine, one of my favorite actors, and Michelle Rodriguez, one of my favorite actresses. Twist my rubber arm. Um, Another thing too is I was always kind of informed that musical tastes get different when you get older, and I always thought, I hope not, and they haven't. My musical tastes haven't changed from where they were about 30 years ago. If anything, I now listen to more heavy metal and more harder music than I did 30 years ago. I don't know. Maybe my wife and I are outliers, but yeah, the idea that it's just going to end up with country music or classical, nope. And it really hasn't changed very much. My taste in food hasn't changed either. The idea that I was going to trend towards all brand, sorry, Granny, wherever you are, but it didn't happen. And it's just it's one of those things that as we get older, and I wanted to throw this on the board too. As I get older, just gas seems to form somehow, some way, and it's much worse than it's ever been. And this is more of a cautionary tale because the other side of it, and it's not on the board, is the whole romantical side of your life doesn't really change. I always get a kick out of watching shows now, and you see that like the younger people are always shown making out, and they're all they're all amorous, and older people just aren't. That's just not a thing. They're just hanging out and they're just happy. No, no, just no. I remember when I was in my 20s and I heard there'd been a poll on, who fools around the most, and the people 60 or older were the most active, and I thought, well, that's interesting. Now, I didn't get all grossed out by it, and it didn't bother me. But as I get older, I can say, yeah, I don't think it helps that there's commercials on TV always telling me you've got about 10 days left until your whole body stops working. And you're going to need to see multiple doctors and specialists in order to get anything working at all. So I kind of feel like I gotta, it's sort of like when your car is almost out of warranty, right? And you're like, I gotta go out and drive the car because it's out of warranty. We know it's going to break. So, you want to make sure that it breaks while it's under warranty. Maybe there's part of me thinking I'm under warranty. But at any rate, yeah, I do find it funny. I've watched as actresses and actors that I thought were awesome 20, 30 years ago. Now I see people saying, oh, they're old and who likes them? And it's like, what? Like Jennifer Lopez looks better now than she did 20 years ago. I think that should be illegal. I think that should be illegal. I think it should be all right. That's not fair. Because no matter how much I work out, no matter I don't look like now. I think on some level I might look a little better than I did 20 years ago. The hair here's gone, but at least there's a bunch of hair everywhere else to make up for it. Because whatever. But yeah, it is aging is odd. It's a strange thing. I don't think it should be allowed. I really and I think it should be reversible. I think we should be able to go into a doctor and say, look, this aging thing doesn't work for me. Can I get one of those reversibles? And they say, all right, and here's like a couple pills, and then you just start aging backwards, Benjamin Button style. And yeah, I would be fine with that. I don't think it's going to happen. I'd be fine with that. So at any rate, consider this my just like noteworthiness for. And here's the thing: if you're one of the older, whether you're a gentleman or a lady, by all means, throw in the comment section things that nobody told you about getting older that you wish somebody had warned you about. And I have no problem doing other videos of this nature. Maybe Yvonne's got some as well, because again, for men and women, it's very different. So what I'm talking about here is just me as a man and things I've noticed, but you guys can let me know what you guys have noticed as well. And if you're on the younger side, just consider this cautionary. I already talked about how time goes by much faster as you get older. Yeah, that hasn't changed since I did the video on it. But it does seem to help when you do things that are outside of your routine. So the routine definitely makes everything go faster. If you switch up the routine a bit, I think it helps. But at any rate, there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Yeah, it's a weird video, but it's one of those things where I felt like I need to tell the internet this stuff because I don't know if people are telling them, right? So let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit... It's sort of like how I hit puberty in grade 4 and I had no idea what was going on. By the time I found out what was going on, I was done with it. And I'm like, well, great. But at any rate, there you go. Let me know your thoughts. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And hey, thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I got my Star Wars hat on too. So yeah, thanks again for all your support. I'll talk to you guys again soon enough.